What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today, this is my 100,000 mile update from my Chevrolet Sonic 2015 1.8. This is a really good car. It's been excellent for me. I'm going to talk about everything that's been done, all the repairs that are needed. And I just hit 100,000 miles and then this code of 52 popped up. Kind of scared the heck out of me. I was like, what the heck is this? You got to be kidding me. All that is actually just a reminder to get the timing belt changed. Timing belt, pulleys, and water pump, all that. Get a timing belt service done, which is pretty expensive. So I'm just going to go ahead and reset that, and just a reminder to get the timing belt there, which is something I have to get done. I was about to get it done at the recommended, which was 97,500, but at that same time I had a alternator problem, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute when I go through all the repairs I've needed. But the good news about this car, the one thing I'll say about this Chevy Sonic, it has never broken down on me. I've never had to call a tow truck or anything like that. It has had some issues, some noises I'll talk about, but whatever's been wrong, I've been able to drive it home or drive it to the shop or whatever, or drive it to the AutoZone to get the new part and get it fixed. It's always been at least drivable for a short period of time, enough to get it fixed. So it's never broken down on me. Never had any major problems. I'll talk about, some medium-sized problems, but nothing insane. It's been a really reliable car, very solid car, and I'm really happy with this vehicle. For the first 30,000 miles, no issues whatsoever for this car. The first problem came around 40,000 miles, and it was actually the ball joint. I would turn the car and it would be squeaky. It was squeak, and there was a ball joint that was worn out on the front right passenger side wheel. So I had a mechanic take care of that. The vast majority of problems I've taken care of myself, but I had a mechanic fix that for me. That was the first issue. The second issue came, and I made a video on it, so I fixed that myself, and that was the window regulator went out. Around 50,000 miles or so, the window would roll up halfway and stop. It'd stop, and that's as high as I can get it. Changed out, I had to take out this whole door panel, changed out the window regulator. Now it works perfectly, and it's worked perfect ever since. So those were the first couple of issues that I had with this vehicle. Ran for perfectly after that. And the next issue it had was not until 88,500 miles, and I had some OBD2 code. I had a check engine light. I could feel, it felt like it was something was missing, like it was misfiring. And sure enough, I had a code P0304. And I did a video on that. I had to change out the ignition coil, so the ignition coil pack, and I also changed the spark plugs while I was at it, since it was already at over 80,000 miles. I might as well change the spark plugs, and that fixed that issue. No issues there. Around that same time, I also had a code P0128. That is a temperature problem with the coolant. The coolant's not heating up enough. I just changed out the thermostat. Issue fixed. Very easy job, relatively easy, I should say, for the thermostat. Relatively easy job for the ignition coil, and that took care of that. And that was about 85,000 miles, actually 88,500 miles there for those problems. Changed it out right then, and then hit 90,000. Everything was going great. Suddenly, right around 90,000 miles, I had a weird issue. I don't know if I opened it up too quick. I had a problem here. This handle, I couldn't open it. It would not open. It was like this. I couldn't open it. I had to somehow get it open, and I actually had to buy a new one. This is not the original handle. So the handle broke. Probably my fault. Opening it too fast. Something, probably my fault. Same goes for another issue I had. This little hinge piece right here broke in half, believe it or not. And I think I opened the door. I was in a hurry. I opened the door too fast, and this just broke in half. I actually went to a junkyard, found a Chevy Sonic. That was a 2014 Chevy Sonic, but it was the exact same part. Switched it out, no big deal. There's a little ball here on the other side of here, but whatever. This just keeps the door. It has this. It stops here. It'll stop again. It keeps the door from just being all loosey goosey. Okay. Which for a while it was loosey-goosey after this broke, and I had to take it out. It was just, I was afraid I was going to open it and bang someone else's car, because it just flies open, especially if it's windy. So this was an easy fix. I just went to the junkyard. And it looked like I was going to hit 100,000 miles with no major problems, until finally, right at the end, 99,650 miles, I started having a noise, a really weird noise when I would accelerate. It was like zzz. Matter of fact, I got a video. Here's what was happening. And I tried to find out the issue. I couldn't really narrow it down, but I was told, you know, it was power steering pump. This vehicle doesn't have a power steering pump. I was told maybe the alternator. That's exactly what it was. It was the alternator. So I had that, and I actually had a mechanic do that for me. I mean, most jobs I like to do myself. I probably could have done it, but I just went ahead and had a mechanic take care of it for me for $60 labor, which is not too bad. So I went ahead and paid a mechanic to take care of that for me, just being lazy, and now it sounds good again. It doesn't have that really high-pitched zoom sound. So got the alternator changed out. Alternator went out right before 100,000 miles. That's it, though. I mean, that does sound like a lot when you list it, but if you think about it, I mean, some of them it's my fault. Like the glove compartment, probably my fault. The hinge here, probably my fault. But other than that, yeah, okay. The thermostat went bad. No biggie. At one point, the ignition coil went bad. No biggie. None of those things caused the car to die. I was able to fix those problems and just get back on the road. And other than that, though, I've just done all of the suggested, you know, follow the maintenance schedule. Other than the timing belt, that's one thing I need to get done now. I have inspected it. Timing belt looks good, but it's something definitely I want to get done as soon as possible, because if the timing belt breaks on this baby, it could be game over, because those valves could come into contact, probably will come into contact with the pistons, and you could have major issues. So that's one thing I want to get done. But I've, you know, changed the oil regularly every time it's time. I've replaced the cabin air filter. I've replaced the engine air filter, you know, multiple times whenever it's required. At 70,000 miles, I changed the brake fluid, bled all 4 tires, and I've just done everything I'm supposed to do. I did change the serpentine belt. It was actually looking kind of worn and kind of cracked, so I just went ahead and changed that out, got a brand new serpentine belt. That's a little easier job than a timing belt. In fact, a timing belt I'm going to take to a mechanic. That's not something I'm going to probably want to do myself. I did think about it. I did start taking it apart. I did check out the timing belt, but I decided not to proceed with that, and I'm going to take that to a mechanic. But overall, this car is freaking fantastic. I'm freaking loving it. Just a quick review. I mean, you have the freaking cell phone charger here, by the way, and of course you have the one down here that you can put the cigarette lighter. So your compadre can also be charging their phone while you roll. Really love it. This is an automatic. Eventually, maybe I'll have some obviously problems with the transmission, but so far that's been excellent. Everything has worked great in this car. All the electronics, haven't had many electronical issues. It's just fantastic. I mean, I had to change the battery a couple times when it started getting low, but even then, and the car never died. I could tell the battery was struggling, and I changed it out. But yeah, that's it. I mean, this is a fantastic car. Obviously, they're not making Chevy Sonics anymore, but if you get an opportunity to get a low mileage one, you know, 2017, 2018, 29, whatever, I think it's really good. I think it's a really good car. Solid car to put a lot of, you know, you're gonna need to drive a lot. This is my regular car. That's my my Beast right there. When I need the Beast, I go to the Beast. But this car, really solid vehicle, the Chevrolet Sonic. I'll have another update at 150,000 miles, and hopefully another one at 200,000. My goal is to get this baby to 300,000 miles, even if I have to change the transmission. That's the goal. So we will see if I ever get there. You guys have a fantastic day. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Let me know if you have a Chevy Sonic and what you think down below. We'll talk to you next time.